What's going on YouTube? Hey, it's Ben Nader. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel, the place where we talk about entrepreneurship, recruiting, staffing, business, startups, everything in between pretty much. And if you like that kind of stuff, then hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, I love you, thank you. Smash the like button for good measure because that would help out the video rankings and that'd be really cool. So thank you. Let's get right into today's video. I wanted to talk about advertising to you today. So for those of you that are starting a recruiting agency, advertising is massive. It is a very big piece of the pie when you first begin a recruiting agency. It's a very easy way to get candidates for the clients that you get, and it takes you off to the races pretty much ASAP. So what types of positions do you advertise? You can only advertise a certain sector of positions out there in the market. Beyond this, you sort of get into a weird realm where it gets into headhunting and you need to start searching for the position rather than advertising it. So for instance, if you're a tech recruiter and you're going that route and you're doing specifically tech, you're not really going to be advertising in the venues that I'm going to be discussing today. So that's not going to be applicable. But mainly it's going to be for general labor roles, right? So distribution, transportation, production, those sorts of roles. Roles that we call general labor, blue collar, low, mid-tier skill type of thing. So that's the type of stuff that you advertise as soon as you get a client for it. If you have an admin position, you can put that up right away. That sort of thing will get you candidates like boom, boom, boom. It's really easy, really fast. So that's what you advertise. Now, the second piece of this is where do you advertise? And I know that you guys, if you've been watching a lot of my videos, which hopefully you have seen me show videos where I talk about advertising on Craigslist and Indeed. So Craigslist and Indeed.com are my two go-to advertising platforms because they perform the best for me. And they've given me the best results, and so I naturally keep going back to them. I like to stay close to the money, and what works, works, so I'm not going to change it. So these are the positions you would put up on Indeed and on Craigslist. So what are the differences between the two? Well, Craigslist is about $45 to put up an ad that will stay up for 30 days, although it will drop down in rankings day by day because people are constantly posting ads, but is a very good place to advertise. It is very much alive and well. You'll get tons of candidates off Craigslist. Indeed is also super awesome for advertising. So I personally believe, and you can check into the stats or you can do your own research and have your own opinion, but I personally believe of Monster or ZipRecruiter or Career Builder, I think that Indeed still reigns king at the top, and Indeed is where I put all of my advertising dollars if I use a website job board. So on Indeed, it's really, really simple. You basically post your job, you post an ad, you actually post certain requirements, whether you want the person to have a clean record, be able to take a background check, have a driver's license. You can actually give people assessments. So if the admin needs to know Excel really well or Microsoft Word, you can actually test them on those things before their application even comes through to you. So Indeed is really, really cool, but I use a combo of Indeed and Craigslist, and I kind of go back and forth between the two, and I'll explain a little bit more in depth later. But basically, it kind of revolves around the next item I'm going to discuss, which is budget. So a lot of people, when you first start off, you don't maybe have a ton of money that you want to blow on advertisements for your first position. However, I will tell you that advertising is super worth the cost. And the reason being is because this. Basically, any given Indeed ad you put up, you can put at a minimum daily ad budget of $5. Okay, so you could put that up for a week and that would be $50. I guarantee, all but guarantee, that you'll get at least 1 to 3 potentially good candidates in that week if you had a $5 ad budget daily. If you had a $10 ad budget, I can pretty much guarantee you're probably going to get maybe 5 or 6 good candidates in that week-long stretch. You would be spending $50 on the $10. I guess on the $5 you'd spend $25 on the whole. At the end of the day though, when you do the math, and this is really important when you talk about advertising for job orders that you have, always think about what your final payout fee is going to be for that individual. So if you're placing someone for an 18 an hour job, that equates to about a $3,400 fee as far as what they're going to make for the annual year if you're charging 10%, which I highly recommend as well. That means you're going to get $3,400. Now, I guess I'll pose the question to you. How much money would you spend to get $3,400? Well, if it cost me $100, I would do it all day long. If it cost me $200, I would do it all day long. $300, $400, $500. As long as you're making a substantial upside on the fee payout, your advertising costs are very, very relative to that high payout. So understand that when you put out budgets and you think, $45 on a Craigslist ad, or 2 Craigslist ads, or maybe a Craigslist ad and a whole week of Indeed, understand that money will come back to you in dividends. I mean, it's going to multiply itself by like 300%. Like, you're going to get a ton of money back. So don't worry a lot about budgets. So Indeed and Craigslist is where I put my ads. Indeed's really cool because you can put the daily budgets. Craigslist, flat rate, $45. It actually varies depending on where you live. I heard some places it's $25 to put up a Craigslist ad. So check that out on your own. But there is a strategy. So when to post your ads. This is super important too. There is a strategy to this game. When you advertise for job orders, it's very important that you are strategic about when you're putting the ad up. So my personal strategy, which I'll share with you, is that I always post up an ad if I get a job order throughout the week and I really want to get the most bang for my buck and I want the most people to see it. I will either post it mid-afternoon on Friday or 9:30, 10, 11 on Saturday morning. And reason being is, hopefully you can understand, it's obvious. This is when people are off of work or getting off of work and they have downtime. They're on their electronic devices. They're surfing around. If they're a would-be job seeker, they're going to be the ones that are seeing your ad because those are the times that they're going to be looking at these types of websites. And so the most bang for your buck, especially if you're doing Indeed, is to set up like a $15 a day ad budget, set it to go on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then kill it on Monday. And you should have 3, 4, 5 good solid candidates. Even if you put your ad budget higher than that, $20 times 3 days, okay, so you're gonna do $60 in ads, you should have 6, 7 good quality candidates. And of those 6 to 7 candidates, I wouldn't doubt you'd be able to make a placement for $3,400. So you're out $60, but you just got $3,400. So ad strategy placement is super important as far as timing and when you post. That goes for Craigslist as well as Indeed. You know, when they go live, they go live. That's when people are going to see them. So just think about that. Understand there's a strategy to posting advertisements, and it's really, really important. One of the last factors I want to talk about is metrics and analysis. So I'm really big on analyzing all the data, understanding exactly what's going on because I don't want to dump money into a money pit. So if I put an ad up and something's missing, like I'm not getting any candidates, like I put a perfect ad up and I put it up on like Friday afternoon, let it run all the way till Monday morning, and something was missing, I didn't get any candidates, and I had a $15 a day budget or something like that, the title might not be right, or I might be missing something in the job description. Like I might have missed the pay rate or something. Like there could be a mistake that I made in my job description as far as when people see it, what they see and how they interpret it, they may have not wanted to respond to it because of some issue that was my fault when I posted the job. Similarly on Craigslist or something like that, you have to understand also that you could have issues. You know, the title is different on Craigslist. So a lot of people post, you know, titles with like, you know, symbols in them to get people's attentions. You can also put a photograph in your ad on Craigslist, which is really cool. So think about what type of photograph are you putting in for warehouse people. You know, sometimes I'll put like now hiring, or sometimes I'll put maybe actually a guy in a forklift with a truck in the background at a warehouse backdrop. Just gives people an idea of what that position is like, and it catches their attention, and it's going to give you a lot more traction than no picture. But at the end of the day, look at the metrics, figure out what's working the most. And this is the way that I figured out ads work well on the weekends, because I started posting here and there and here and there, and I saw that I was getting the most traction on weekends, and lo and behold, people take phone calls, they apply for jobs, they do a lot of stuff on weekends, like surprise, surprise, like they'll take your phone call. So that's a big thing. Just understand the metrics, understand what works and what doesn't, and always go with what's working. So you want to get more bang for your buck. So that's pretty much advertising in a nutshell. The general labor jobs are jobs that you can absolutely get your job orders, get exactly what the client needs, and then go to town with your advertisements. This is a huge way that I've run my business entirely, generated my first 6 months pretty pretty much on using ads for the job orders that I had, and just clink, 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 just knock them down as they come in. And then once they come through, obviously you vet them and you figure out, is this person legitimate or not. I've done a different video on how to interview candidates and how to vet their resumes and all sorts of stuff like that, but you can check that out. So that's it for today, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow on Sunday. Even though it's Mother's Day, I'll be knocking out a video. So I hope you're having a great weekend so far, and take care.